can't have darkness without light. Like, it's just every bit of light has a little darkness. Every bit of darkness has a little light.
Yeah. And that's a great way to put it. And I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. That's the problem. It's the way the drugs are designed. You know, the pharmaceutical companies, unfortunately,
They're
have been,
profiting.
well, that's the thing. And so, like, you get this whole little uncaringness to actually fix the person. They just want to keep putting a Band-Aid over it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not sustainable. And like, yeah, mental, like, we used to not know that the brain could actually recover. But now that we know that, yeah, it can, just takes a lot longer. And so if someone falls into a state of depression, how long it took them to get there, we can't even formulate the time that it takes them to get out of it because we
Well,
don't know it yet.
if people weren't sick, they, it's a business. It's healthcare is a business. It should be called sick care, but
No,
this is a
that's
whole-
another thing.
This is another podcast
Yeah.
that we'll have to come back on.
Yeah, that's I like that, sick care. That's what I'm gonna call it because that's what I've coined it. I've called them the insurance companies of the medical field. There's no mechanic. There's no healthcare mechanics anymore that will help maintain your vehicle for you.
Yeah.
That will help maintain your body for you. Sorry. There's no one out there like that. And so
It's
sick care.
plug and chug, and
Yeah.
as long as people are sick, they still have somebody to treat.
They act as an insurance company. When you crash your car, you call the insurance company. When you break your body, go to the hospital. That's it. They won't tell you how to not break it. Again, you know what I mean? They might tell you don't do that, but they're not going to tell you, hey, maybe you should increase your calcium because that's maybe why your bone broke, or hey, maybe you have weak bones because you have osteoporosis, or maybe you're not getting your iron intake. But yeah,
Yes.
yeah, whole nother tangent. So, but so this it costs $15 to get in. You'll have food, you'll have entertainment.
I have concessions because
Concessions.
I just found out that the village is doing a fundraiser carnival out in the parking lot. So they're doing, it's called Renville Cares. It's an act where they help, like, it's an event. They're doing a carnival and they'll have bands and a car show and a bags tournament. So they have a whole big event outside. And then, kids can go to the carnival and the parents can come inside and get a tattoo.
Yeah.
So they're fundraising for, like, underprivileged children to do, like, the shop with the cop and different things. So it's a great, and they've been so open and helpful for me with their event as well. So we're working together.
No, that's super cool. That's great for both of you. You know what I mean? Because you'll definitely get a mixing of crowds, and I think if people can keep a clear and open mind, which I think a lot of people do now, I think there's some really great things that can happen between that. You know what I mean? And that's even cool because then you can make a whole day out of it. Then you know what I mean. You can.
Well, there's 2 days, 10 to 10 Saturday,
Well, there you
10
go.
to 7 Sunday.
Well, there you go. Okay, you can make it a whole weekend thing.
It is a whole weekend. Theirs is the 4th through the 6th. Mine's the 5th and the 6th.
There we go. Okay, so yeah, it is a whole weekend.
They
thing.
have music, and there's different vibes. Do you want the musicians inside? Do you want the rock band outside?
Yeah.
There's a lot of different. It'll be good. It'll definitely be good. I'm definitely looking forward to having a good experience this weekend.
Yeah. No, that's exciting. That's gonna be really exciting. Are you gonna get a tattoo?
I really want to. However, I'm likely going to be busy.
Come on, you can scrape together an hour.
I know. And Matt told me I'm not allowed to get tattooed till
I'm sorry,
convention.
man. I'm sorry, dude.
Not that he really says, like, allowed or not, but
No,
I
know.
He's
I
like,
know.
well, right now you're doing so much, and if you get a tattoo, like, just wait till after your convention. Okay.
That's so hard. That's gonna be the hard thing for me. Is I'm gonna see it and I'm gonna want to get one.
Just
but
get one.
I might, but
get
I don't
one.
have the money for it right now, really.
$100 holler. Some of them take a firm. Hey, you never know. They do that in the industry now. They do, like, a firm and afterpay.
Yeah.
I know that the local credit union out by me put a billboard up. So
Oh, really?
Maybe. Yeah, they have, like, a digital billboard, so they shared their space with me and announced it there.
That's awesome. See, that's so cool.
I looked to pay for an actual digital billboard, and I was like, gosh, I need to make more money.
Like 10 to 15, right?
No, it was actually really inexpensive for the local digital billboards.
Okay.
It was very affordable. It was a price that was doable. However, I invested into radio ads because I think it has a broader reach.
Yeah.
And I have a really great radio ad. I love my radio ad. The guy that did
you
it.
do it? Oh.
No. I brought it.
No. Real quick.
I don't like my voice, like how you said. I don't like listen. I have the Aussie guy on my voicemail. but the guy that did it, when I used to go out drinking, I'd sing karaoke at this. I'd go see the cool cat in the top hat. His name's Denny Case. He's on the radio now, and um, he voiced my ad and didn't know it was me. So when I went in for my interview with him, he was like, "This is so cool that it's you. I didn't know it was you." And I was like, "Yeah, thanks for cutting me off in karaoke when I was when I was kind of sloshed and shouldn't have been singing."
All right, this one's over. Yeah.
And he'd be like, no, I got people ahead of you. And he was so polite about it. Like, he didn't tell me, like, you're too drunk to sing.
Yeah.
He was just, he did it with class. He's a good guy.
That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, because some of those bar jockeys or bar MCs, whatever you want to call them, they can get kind of rude sometimes, you know?
Karaoke, I worked for 6 years at a karaoke bar in Frankfurt, and it was the bane of my existence. We'd get some good ones. We'd get some terrible ones.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've definitely run into a couple who are just a-holes.
My sister said, "Why don't you do karaoke at the tattoo contest?" I said, "Absolutely not. That is for the bar when drunk people. I don't even have alcohol being served there.
Yeah.
I do have I did get some canna vendors.
Yeah.
So that's good. The local dispensary that's in the Mall Loop Drive is going to be by there, passing out coupons or whatever they do.
Yeah.
I talked to another cannabis vendor out of the south side of Chicago that is going to be there setting up tables, promoting their business and their merch. And yeah, I would just prefer people chilling. And plus, if you're drinking, your blood's thin and you can't get tattooed anyway. So
Yeah.
alcohol was not.
Alcohol and tattoos don't really mix.
No, that's always a bad.
Yeah,
it's always a bad story.
There's always a mistake when you hear it. Well, I was drinking and then I got, and we came across a tattoo parlor. That's when you usually show the tattoo too.
I purchased some linens from a lady, and she was like, "Yeah, when I was drunk in Vegas and got this tattoo," and I was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm so thankful I didn't impulsively get." I mean, I do have a couple impulsive tattoos. Like, I have a music note in my ear. I have another one. My sister and I have a matching tattoo.
There you go.
My kids' names, those sort of things. My ones that mean stuff to me.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad I didn't impulsively get the boxing glove and drunk worm. And when I drew it out, it looks like it says Joe, like my name, like the boxing glove sits there in the worm, so it looks like a J-O. I'm so glad I didn't do that.
Maybe one day you should just get it just to get it. When you get nice and old, put it somewhere no one will see it,
Like,
you know?
look at my tomato.
Look at my boxing glove.
Yeah, I used to be a scrapper. Don't fuck with me.
Right? 80-year-old lady with a walker.
Don't make me take this oxygen off.
Oh man, I've met some pretty feisty old people though, man.
Old people are great. They don't give a fuck. And that is the greatest part about getting old. The older you get, the less you give a fuck. And that's just about acceptance. Like, life is what it is.
Bluntness is not lost on them, that's for sure. They have a great way of reminding you of how unimportant you are sometimes.
No filter.
Yeah. They have sometimes it's like, yeah, I don't care. I'm like, oh, okay. Cool. Oh man. I don't know if that just comes with time or if that's just because life experience. You know what I mean? Because you'll get every once in a while you'll get some really really happy old people, you know, and so it makes me wonder if this, like, you know, hey, so many bad things have happened. They're just like, yeah, that's just how life is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
can't wait to meet my maker.
Yeah. Oh.
In the end days when my grandma was getting older, like she was more and more elderly, she started to get a little morbid. Like, she was like, "This is the outfit I'm gonna be buried in," and she's like, "It's blue to match my eyes." I'm like, "But grandma, your eyes will be closed." But like, she showed me, like, she had it all planned out, and she's like, "Just want to show you." I'm like, "Okay."
I think there's two sides to that. I think that, you know, when people, we have like a timer in us almost where we know when it's coming. Like, there's this thing that people do, like they prepare for death, like, and they don't even know they're doing it, but that's what they're doing. And then I think as well though, people do that to unburden their family because they don't, what are they going to choose? I don't want them to have to worry about what I'm going to wear. I'll just pick everything out for them. I'll get everything situated. And it seems, you know, it sounds morbid when you think about it. Like, what? who the fuck prepares for death? You know what I mean? Like,
Old people.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
My friends are dropping. I'm next.
yeah, right, yeah. So it's like it seems morbid, but I think it has a lot of good intent behind it, and then also I do think it does happen blindly as well. Because you always hear about it, it's like, dude, this guy got all his affairs in order. Like, how do you know he's gonna die? Like, there's just something in us that's just
I do
like,
have some affairs in order. I have a living will.
yeah,
I did do that. I think it's important. I've been in a lot of car accidents, so I'm like, oh yeah, I could die anytime. And then when I was thinking about what I was thinking about, I was like, I'm just gonna drive off a bridge, and I was like, but what if I live and I'm a vegetable, and then everyone has to take care of me, and then I'm like, wait, no, I need to go get help for that.
yeah. Yeah, I'm glad it equated that way though, because maybe you thought about that and you're like, yeah, that sounds good, you know. So I'm glad you thought the other way because being in those
Well,
states it might suck.
that's that divine intervention. Like
100%.
that thought coming into my head was not from me.
Yeah.
Like my time here was not done. Like when I was hit and ran by the drunk driver, when I crashed my car and woke up 2 days later, like I'm like a cat. I've had so many lives.
God is
but
pulling you back. That's what
but
it
there's
is.
there's a reason why I'm still here. I still have a job to do. I have an event to host here next weekend. It's going to be a good time. And I think people are really going to enjoy it.
I think so. And I mean, there's a reason why you're pulled back to do all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I think that bringing of people together is an important thing. And no matter what it is that's bringing them together, it's important. Because like we said, during COVID, we got so separated. And I think until we completely shake that off, which it's going to take some time because we're going to see downfall from that for years on end. Events like this have become fewer and far between, and they've become centralized to Chicago. And I think breaking them away from big cities.
The fans and festivals, the small towns have a lot of charm. Like
Yeah.
we are a very art rich community down in Kankakee County.
Yeah.
We have a lot of the Frank Lloyd Wright houses out there. We're a riverfront community. The river's really clean. We just got the regatta back. Like there's a
What's
lot
the
of good,
regatta?
it's boat races.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I was watching Labor Day weekend.
Nice.
The
Okay.
boat races when the
Okay.
kid was building the little teepee thing.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome.
But yeah, there's a lot of and I like our area. Like we don't have, it's not that hustle bustle busy Chicago, me first then you.
Yeah.
A lot of free parking, a lot of people like they're just like I said, they take time to wave, like they let you pass, and it's a nice laid back area. I really like it.
Yeah. No, it sounds, I mean, like I said, it literally sounds like I would rather be living there than here. And I don't just say that to try and, throw out like props to it or anything like that. Like I truly do. Like I'm trying to find a way to swing buying a cow still because the whole me switching jobs had to kind of messed with that a little bit. But like, I just enjoy it. Like
There's a lot of places out by like literally my football team. We had a meat raffle. Like they half a cow or a processed cow, and the one football team did the $10 raffle for the processed cow. The other one did a processed cow and a deep freezer. Like
that's what you need.
Yeah.
That's the whole other side to it. It's like it's not just the $1,400 for the $22,000 processed, pretty much around $1,750 processed for the half cow. You also, if you don't have a freezer for it, you're gonna need at least like a
at least one of those little $200-$300 deep freezers, the little tiny ones.
Well, if you do a chest though, the problem is you got to unbury everything.
Yeah.
And so like that, you need a stand up one when you have that much meat
Well, when
because
you open the
all the
door.
different cuts. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, because you're not gonna want to burn through all the same cuts right away. So you're gonna have to kind of like.
Do I want
The freezer
hamburgers?
size
Do
is
I
like
want
$1,000 too, so it's like you're looking at like a $2,000 investment if you're not set up for it. But you'll save that money over the year for sure. I mean,
Oh
because
yeah,
you're
and
looking
the
at 3
meat is
pounds
so
of
much
meat.
better. Yeah.
It is. Oh, I haven't had fresh venison since I was young, and like it. There's not like I haven't even tried venison anywhere because I'm afraid like it's gonna ruin it for me, and so I'll only eat it fresh. Which I don't have anyone that I can get it from anymore. But so yeah, no, like, and so I think bringing this type of stuff, like if we can pull more of that stuff from the city and doing things like this, I think it would be better for Illinois because I think the centralization of Chicago was needed for the previous structure of our society. But I think with the way society is structured now, we need to start extracting these things from the city because the city's dying. There's no, I don't think there's going to be, they
They're
overpopulated them.
oversaturated.
Yeah. And so it's going to come to a level point,
Yeah. What goes up must come down.
Yeah, and so I think it's going to go down to a point to where it will equalize itself again. I think you're going to see a lot of turn things, but extracting as much that we can from that kind of societal
The
living like
city
this.
slicker, fast pace. Yeah, it's nice.
People like it, and so if we can pull that thing into their community where they don't have to travel to the city,
Or pay for parking, or worry about getting
shot. Yeah, I mean, people are getting shot on the highway going
on
to.
the Dan Ryan. Yeah,
Yeah, like
it's,
it's insanity.
I worry about my husband driving to work.
That's. I mean, people don't want to
Sometimes
worry about that.
he leaves for work. He leaves like 4 o'clock in the morning for work, and he checks the GPS every day because you never know if the expressway will be shut down. He has gone to work when the expressway shut down from like a 30 a.m. shooting, and he's on his way to work at 4, and he's got to go drive through Stony Island. And
Yeah. And so to be able to avoid that, I think you hit a niche right here for sure.
at the event time, I picked this time because I think it's right after, because everyone's broke back to school.
Yeah.
And then everyone's broke through the holidays. So I picked this early October
In
time. So for
between.
that sweet spot in between after school broke, right before Christmas broke.
See,
And then in the fall, I like to get tattooed in the colder months because like I'm a sun baby. If I go out, I will get a like when I got this tattoo on my chest, I went swimming afterwards. Like I was just like, oh yeah, it's fine. Like it faded, but like you ruin your tattoos by sun exposure, chlorine, like
yeah.
and like I like to get tattooed in the fall winter time just so that my skin can heal better.
Yeah. And I mean that's honestly the smart way to do it. Like I remember when I went to the Black Pelican and got my tattoo, I was like, dude, this is so stupid. I'm all around sand. Like, what am I doing? Like, this is gonna get infected. I was so worried about it because, like, we go to the beach almost like every other day because you get off work. It's like, what do you want to do? Oh, I live in vacation. Like, let's go do something at the beach. Like, we can go there for an hour and leave and not be upset that we didn't spend enough time at the beach because we're only here for a week. You know what I mean? And so that is honestly, it's crazy because like I wouldn't even thought about like a sweet spot like that. You know what I mean? I guess once I probably drilled into it, I would have, but like. It's just there's so much behind this that like people just don't think about.
I didn't want to do it in March because I didn't want to conflict with the big events because I'm the small guy. Like
Yeah.
they do it around March, which is tax time, so that's pretty strategic for them because people will blow their taxes.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, especially because it's a lot of people consider that disposable income. You know what I mean? Because they don't think about it. Like, oh, I'm just getting this free check. No, that was your money.
You worked for it.
That was your money.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid with it. You
No,
earned it. The
yeah.
government just took it from you, and they're really paying you with nothing. So, cherish that money because it won't be coming back.
Yeah,
pretty
but
soon.
this is a good time. I mean, like I said, you have it's that sweet spot between back to school broke and before the holidays broke, and it's like the end of summer. It's like that Indian summer where you still want to go out, you still want to do festivals, and the weather is supposed to be great. Like my son's birthday is in October, and the beginning of October. My daughter's birthday is at the end of April. It's always been so much nicer for my son's birthday in October than my daughter's birthday in April. I've had it like snowing, raining, slushing, still like blizzard conditions in April. Then in October, we have that nice, that 7 p.m. sunset and the golden hour and the pumpkins out and the color changes. It's a really pretty time to be out here in Illinois.
And I think honestly, I think fall is more of a spark in creation than spring is. Like, I think once spring is in full bloom, yes. But like in that little weird time where you're transferring between spring and
like
winter, it's so nasty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in this right now, this fall, it's like the time of transition. You know, the colors change, the mood lightens up. People are people do their their fall decorations, their spooky season stuff. It's good vibes, good times, bright colors.
I think it kind of goes with like the crowd too, though. You know what I mean? Like
I really wanted to incorporate Halloween stuff into here, but it's just I was working on this by myself. I did have the idea of doing costume contests, best dress, just kind of passing some, but I don't have enough help right now.
Yeah.
It's definitely
save that for like a next year.
For the future, for sure.
Yeah.
To do, costume contests, just make it a little more fun for the people and just to bring another vibe. This quarter, sorry.
You're okay.
Just to bring another element vibe that'll make it interesting. Ink, oddities, art, it's all fun. Oddities, curiosities, you want to come check it out.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be a great time. And I'm excited for it. I definitely will be there. I don't know if I can come both days, but I'll definitely be there one of the days.
For sure.
Now you got me thinking about money. because I've had this. So the
What's
one
your tattoo that you want?
so there's actually a few. Um, I've always, I've always enjoyed tribal, and like I kind of hated it because like it got like this douchebag rap with it. You know what I mean? Like
The
fucking
barbed wire, bro.
yeah, yeah, straight up. So like I have tribal on my arm underneath my last name,
But that's
and
your Native American roots. Do your tribal.
um and and so I've always wanted to connect my back to my shoulders because I will eventually get something over here. I have something at my chest. I'll explain my other chest one in a second. But I didn't want tribal. I wanted the Angry Orchard like tree branches, like that type of look
Okay.
coming off of my back and
Like
kind
the
of
tree of life.
like reaching over and kind of holding my shoulders.
Yeah.
And then on my chest, it's all my family sigils put together because, granted, I have two. I have Bedino and Sosa, but I also have Francini because I have a biological father and a father I grew up with.
Right.
That
The
I
father
still,
of your heart.
yeah, which he is my father. The other one is just a sperm donor.
Yeah, well, everyone is here for a reason or season.
Yeah, and I held no malice towards them at all or anything like that. I mean, but it's just a reality of the situation, you know. And so I found all the family sigils of those, and since I can't really fall into one in my eyes because it's weird the tendencies that I had that I've seen him do, like my biological father. I'm like, dude, that's super messed up. That's how ingrained that is into us because I do the same.
Genetic code.
Yeah, I mean, but I can also see like the nurture side, like because I have a lot of things that I do that were inbred in me from my father, like the way I don't care about money. Like I don't have money, so I don't want to make it sound like I have money. I don't. I am definitely middle lower class when it comes down to it. In all reality, but I don't have an obsession with it. Like my mother, she was to the dime, like she was a penny pincher. Like I don't want to say a penny pincher because she enjoyed her nice stuff, but like she was psychotic
Very
about
conscious.
money. Yeah, like beyond conscious, she was psychotic about money. My father was like the exact opposite, and I'm glad I got that from him because money it will turn you.
It,
you know,
will make or break people.
Yeah, and so like but yeah, so the family sigil thing is really important to me to kind of combine the all of them. The Sosa part is four crescents, four red crescents in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
The Bedino part is just a regular shield with a knight over it with I think it's is it Swedish colors? I think it's the
Swedish is blue and yellow.
Blue, yellow, and white, right, or something like that, or blue and yellow, maybe just. Or I think it's blue and yellow and then white in the opposite corners, maybe, or something like that.
I
don't know if there's
I
white
think
in
it's
there.
blue and yellow.
But yeah, I think it's in that quarter. I have the picture of it. I have all three pictures, and I the pieces I want. But then the last one, the Francini one, is a yellow shield with two-headed dragon on it.
Oh, that sounds badass.
Yeah, and so I've taken those three and I put them all together. It'll be the yellow and black. Or
like a triangle.
Well, like so, it'll be a shield, and on that shield there'll be a knight in full metal armor who's over it. It's like the classic representation of like a family crest or a family sigil, and then it has the shield's on there. Then it has decoration around the shield, and it has the flag in the background. Because of the way the Bedino one is and how it really has no design in the shield, I'm taking the colors of that one, which is like the I believe it's yellow, blue, and white, if I'm not mistaken. But and I put this together like 10 years ago, so that's why it's kind of like still fuzzy. Like I have all the pictures still, but and then the two-headed dragon would be in the middle with the four crescents around the outside. But the four crescents will stay red, but everything else will be the colors of the Bedino.
So you're gonna have a color tattoo now?
Yeah, that would be the only color one though. But yeah, so and that would go on my chest, but then the branches would come over to connect it all. And then I forgot the one I wanted to put on my shoulder, but obviously if I forgot it, it's not something that I probably should do. So, but
I still want my birds. I got my phoenix. I want my chicken. I want my sparrow and the spider. Like,
so what made you choose a brown recluse? Because that was something that like
I didn't want the black widow. I don't know. I think the black
Okay.
widow's too cliche. And like this is Illinois, we have brown recluse out here.
Yeah, and for people that don't know what they are, they look like wolf spiders,
and they fuck
you
you up.
Yeah, they bite you and they cause a flesh-eating disease that will leave you with a gaping hole in your body.
Yeah.
Like I've seen some people that got bit by them and those are like just look up brown recluse bites when you get a second, people, because they're
Don't
nasty.
Google it. Don't
yeah,
Google
it is definitely some mind
Yeah, I just
bending
I
stuff.
think that because the sparrow could definitely eat the spider, but the
Yeah.
spider could also eat the sparrow.
Okay,
So
bite
like
it. Yeah, it's gonna.
that like
Yeah.
that like stare down and that fear and that like I'm bigger than you, I'm smaller than you. Like I'm small, but I'm mighty. Like
Yeah. No, I
it's
mean it. You are a force to be reckoned with. To be able to pull this together in less than a year, I don't. They probably take over a year in their planning for their other big conventions. You know what I
Well,
mean?
it's just like once you already have your vendor set up, I came from nothing. Like I had no vendors, I
Yeah.
had nobody to fall back on. I mean, I've done a lot of charity events, and I've helped raise $50,000 for a suicide memorial. I helped a breast cancer benefit raise $15,000. I've done a lot of this, going out and donation soliciting for charity.
Yeah.
So I do have that in my background. So I know how to get out and talk to people and be uncomfortable and say hi to strangers, which is a lost art in itself.
Yeah. It
But
is.
I literally had to think of like I mean I reached out to you know Monster for sponsorship, Liquid Death for sponsorship. I reached out to the medical wipe industry because
Yeah.
they need to have bloodborne pathogens certified cleaning supplies. So I reached out to them. I said, didn't really hear back, but I also wasn't like the squeaky wheel gets oiled and you have to follow up multiple times.
Yeah.
If, when you're asking for free stuff, it's there's an art to it,
A hundred
you
percent.
know?
Yeah. I mean, no, that's see, like, it's interesting too because it's like obviously you've had some turmoil in your life, just like I've had some turmoil. Most people have turmoil in their life, and I think until you get better, you can't see how that turmoil was almost necessary. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it sucks that
You
we
learn
we
from
had to go through
experience.
it, but you wouldn't have. I don't. You went through all these things, and like you said, you did a lot of that charity raising, and if you wouldn't have done that, you wouldn't have known how to do this.
Yeah, you go through it to grow from it,
Yeah, everything stacks,
Yeah.
and it's hard to see that because I would have never thought that my sales would help me do a podcast, but that's why I know how to talk to anybody because I learned
Yeah.
you
I was in sales, I was in retail. I will never go back to retail. Never.
what do you mean?
I
People
will
are happy all the time.
I will like work in a I will have a garage sale every day before I go back to retail.
That shit's fun.
But the hospitality service industry, like you really, to get a good tip, you have to know just how much to talk to people to not interrupt their meal, but to also, really understand what they're looking for in their experience when they come to dine with you.
Yeah.
Just check back. Hey, how, once they take a bite, hey, how is everything? Can I get you, can I let the chef know you need anything?
Yeah.
Just different ways to without interrupting them when they're in the middle of an intimate time. You walk by and they're smiling and looking at each other. You just walk by and check their water.
Yeah. And it's those little things that like I think are lost on a lot of people. You know, and I think the credit the credit it deserves. Like a lot of people will look over those jobs as like, oh, this person was just unambitious. This person doesn't care. A lot of people tend not to think about
Being a server is hard,
it is. It takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of
mental and physical energy. You're on your feet for a lot of hours. Like I eat from working. Like I started as a busser when I was 15. I eat so fast because I'm used to like hurry up, getting a couple bites in, eating really fast, and going back out on the floor. And it's like I have to constantly remind myself, chew slower, nobody's stopping you. And then plus, like just living in a busy life, like you have to hurry up and get your nutrition in and move on to the next task. So like and even it goes back to going into school.
yeah,
Like school, like we are scheduled for a 40-minute break period for lunch. Like you can't sit and enjoy, like in the Italian cultures, they sit and they have these big meals and they have salad in between and they have wine and they have this big, it's a real experience when you eat in the Italian culture. So but we have lost that, and American culture is Americanized. It's fast food, fast, quick, easy, but it's not good for you. You need that time to sit and digest and chew your food. But when you work in the service industry, it's about speed and efficiency, and
yeah.
I've really learned to hurry up and eat from that. And it's one of these character flaws that I'm looking to curb. I mean, I think it'll help me in all in all. But
See, it's crazy because like I get completely what you're talking about, but I'm the opposite side of the spectrum. I hate like I'm sitting down with a bunch of people, we're eating, having a good time, talking. I would love that, but when I'm by myself, I cannot stomach just sitting at a table and eating slowly. Like I look at the consumption of food as the biggest waste of time.
hmm
And I don't mean when you're with people. I
hmm
mean when I'm by myself. To me it's like it's a burden. But I'm hungry as shit and I want to eat and like I do consume a lot of food. Like I know I'm everyone's like, "Oh, you can't eat that much." Oh, sit down with me.
yeah,
I'll eat
some
most people.
one of the things I really enjoy doing is you know, I'm a mom. I have 4 kids. Like I do like to just go out to eat by myself, and I will sit there and I'll doom scroll and I'll take my time and I'll finish eating and I'll sit there and drink more water
Yeah.
just to have that disengage from everything. I do like to sit by my like because I'm constantly on the go eating fast. So sometime once in a great while, I'll take myself out and some it's not always the best food like but a lot of times like I'll even go to like fancy places and just sit and eat by myself by a window.
Yeah.
And are you okay? Yeah. I'll just get even if I just get an appetizer just to have that time to sit by myself.
And I now that I think about it, I when I was bartending still, one day when I was off during the week, I would usually go out to breakfast by myself, and I would sit there and watch my Snapchat little, not other people's videos, but like the little shorts that people put out on Snapchats
hmm
that are like informational, um, sometimes just stupid.
Yeah,
Uh,
social media stuff.
yeah, yeah, and like so that's when I get drawn to the most is Snapchat because there's a lot of people I follow on there that I like the videos they put out because I've done a lot of fact checking on them. But yeah, anyways, um, so I would do that, but like everyone always asks, like, dude, why do you eat so quick? Why do you eat so quick? I'm like, just because I don't
The
have the
life of a
time.
server. Yeah,
Like,
it is a waste of time. I can see both sides.
and like again, I love food. I love good food. But like to me, the way I look at food now is, hey, how can I get the most protein out of this stuff and the least amount of processed crap? Because those are the two things I look at. Like I try to keep it as clean as possible now. Like unfortunately, I wish there was another thing I could put in between peanut butter and honey because I would stop using bread. But unfortunately, peanut butter and honey sandwich is kind of hard to hold. you know, gotta get honey everywhere. And so
What
like,
about a wrap?
yeah, but that's so like I don't know. I've always felt like that's why you see Mexicans with big old tummies all the time because they're always eating tortillas, and
Tortilla
like,
belly.
yeah,
I loved me some tacos.
yeah, trust me, I love Mexican food. Like my grandma, it was 3 meals a day
And
Mexican
in
food in the morning,
Chicago, we have
afternoon.
good Mexican food out here.
Yeah,
I literally, one of the times I was traveling, I was in Kentucky and I tried to get Mexican food, and the restaurant looked very authentic. But I was like, wow, and even when I was in Florida that short period of time, I tried to get pizza out there, and I was like,
it's hard.
what?
It's the water.
Nobody beats Chicago food.
Well, it's just the water in Florida is weird. 'Cause, like even bagels taste different.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know what
know.
it is, but yeah, no, and like it's if you ask for a torta on the Atlantic side in so like South Florida, like Miami, all the way up to like Vero, if you ask for a torta, they're gonna be like, "How do you know what that is?" Because I'll go to places and they'd be like, "Oh no, we don't have those." Or one guy was like he got real quiet, like I was like trying to buy drugs off him or something. It was super weird, and I was like, "I'm from Chicago." So, oh, okay, okay, it made sense to him then. But
Yeah.
like, I was like, "Do they not make those out here?" He's like, "No, man." He's like, "They don't do those out here."
Tostadas?
Yeah, tostadas are pretty common, but I don't know why. But like something with a torta, I didn't understand it, and I think I don't know what it still was, but
Chicago is
like,
just the food capital.
dude, we got some bomb food out here, that's for sure. But yeah, it's always been hard for me to sit down and like truly try to like, hey, I'm gonna sit here and eat this and like do this and like I try to slow down more now. I think that was a sign from my finger when I
Slow down.
yeah
When you
because
slammed it,
because like
bam, bam.
well like not in my defense, the last dumpster I closed, the latch on it had like an extra foot to the bar that was sticking out because it's because it was a smaller dumpster and so like it widened out. But this one was just the right size. And so the finger went right into that spot, and like I thought I was good. I thought it just hurt really bad, and then I was shaking, and I felt something slap me in the face, and I was like, "Was that blood? Pull off my glove." I'm like, it was my first day on the job site. I was like, did I do that? And he's like, you need to go to you need to go to the ER. I'm like, I don't know. He's like, let's go hit it with some water. So we walk around to the side of the house, hit it with water, and all you see is tendon and bone. Yeah, it was hanging there.
That's like last time I talked to you, we were gonna do this. You stepped on a rusty nail or something.
No, I caught a nail in the arm. And that's what happened. And like, I thought I was good. I was like, I got a tennis shot not too long ago. I'll be fine, you know? Like, because what happened was we were ripping out cabinets and I cranked one off the backing off the wall. And I didn't know that he had already cranked the other side off. So it came swinging down. And like, I moved my body out of the way, but my arm didn't move quick enough. And it just slapped me. And like, it was like sticking there. I'm like, oh, crap. Pulled it out. And like, I was fine for like a week. And then all of a sudden, like, I was like, I feel my jaw clenching and stuff. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go get a tetanus shot. Like, this sucks. Like,
adulting.
Yeah, I thought I would have been good because like they say every 10 years, but I guess if it's been more than 5, you should go get a booster for it. So like,
Gotta get a booster. I don't even want to get into shots. All right,
yeah,
back to tattoos.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, tattoos are that's a whole other thing too. Like everyone's like, oh, like I hate needles. I can't stand them. I'm the biggest wuss with it. And like I do testosterone replacement therapy, so like I get shot with a needle every week. You know what I mean? And like I do amino acids through injection. I do sermorelin through injection. I do B12. And so like I've unfortunately become more closely acquainted with needles than I'm happier to admit. But I still can't. I can't like it. They just give me the heebie-jeebies. And like everyone, I remember I was getting my cortisone injections in my back, and this dude walks around with a needle. I'm like, is that a cartoon joke? The thing is like this big. That's not even under exaggeration. I think this is smaller than really what it was. I was like, what is that? He's like, oh, you're fine. He's like, you got tattoos. I'm like, dude,
It's not
two completely different things,
It's
man.
Not the same.
Completely different. And like, he's like, oh, you got like a John Wick tattoo going on back here. I was like, that's the first time someone's ever said that, but like, that was the real needle. Like, I could not stop thinking about it.
Imagine those the
Yeah, where they would. And it's like I thought there would be some correlation when I got my first tattoo, but after I got it, I'm like, oh, there's nothing like that. You know what I mean? Because like those intramuscular tattoos, like when I got this, they had to give me the Toradol, and then they gave me like a heavy antibiotic one,
yeah.
and they freaking hurt.
Yeah, I had to get when I had surgery on my face, I had to get shots in my stomach. I don't remember, blood thinner or something. Like I had to get a shot. I had to get multiple shots in my stomach, and it was like I am a baby with like if I have to get my blood drawn, I tell them I'm a fainter, and they give me the lay down table, like because I'm a fainter. Like I get my blood drawn, I faint. One time when my
is it from the sight of it or is it from the feeling?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a fainter. I've fainted multiple times, but I know one time when my daughter was in school, they got extra credit if their parents donated blood at the blood drive. So I tried to donate blood, and I ate and I would drink and everything. And the needle for a blood drive is so much wider, bigger to donate blood. So I was sitting there and I fainted.
Yeah.
She still got the extra credit, but I still fainted.
Now that's a good mom right there. That is kind of entrapment for schools to do that. Just an FYI.
Yeah, like whenever I do get my blood drawn at the doctor's office, I ask them to use the infant needle, even though it takes longer. The little tiny baby one, the butterfly.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
I do.
Yeah.
I said I'm a fainter and use a butterfly needle.
I didn't know that. Yeah, no, yeah, man, they just scare me for some reason. But I guess
I guess I got good veins. Like I've been told by the doctors, like, wow.
Oh, I know I got good ones. You can mostly see them most of the time. But yeah, it's and like I donated blood, I've donated plasma, like, but still, every single time.
So get the anxiety of the needle.
Yeah,
that's how I feel when I'm going to get tattooed. Like I was so nervous because when I got the one on my ankle, I think the last tattoo I got before that was in my ear, and that was so quick. I literally took a Q-tip, kind of bent it over so I didn't hear the buzz in my ear.
Yeah.
And it was so fast because it's only like, it's a little double eighth note. It's so small.
Yeah.
And like not like an inch wide, an inch by inch tattoo inside of my ear. And this was a big committed piece to my leg. So when I drew it out, like he did it to the scale of my drawing.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, can't we make that smaller? He said, I don't do micro tattoos. And I was like, oh.
That's a thing?
people do fine line micro, like the it's a silly trend because like you're, the ink ends up
Fading.
fading, and
Yeah.
the lines end up getting a little bigger, and so when you get a micro tattoo, like maybe 15 years from now, it won't look exactly like a micro tattoo.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
it's a trend.
Yeah.
It's a I've learned a lot about trends in, in my tattoo journey here.
Yeah.
It's a lot that these tattooers have to do to keep up with things. The different ways of shading, the different way, like there's a lot that
How do they learn about that? Like, is there like a continuous school thing, or like?
I'm not that into, but I did actually, while I've been going to these conventions, I've met people like that do tattooing seminars. So I'm
Oh,
hoping to really include that in my festival in years to come. Like,
that would be
hey,
cool, like a Q&A and
like
stuff like that.
maybe, the festival opens at noon instead of at 10, and then, from 9 to 11, I'll have a seminar for them to attend before the event.
I
So
like that
yeah, I would
because
love to incorporate an educational aspect into it, just because like when I do art at home, like I'm not prompted to do anything, but like when I did art in class, like it challenged me.
yeah,
Like when I took art in college, I was just challenged to do different things from a different perspective because I had a teacher instructing me on what I needed to do, but I still had my creative ability.
yeah, and getting out of your comfort zone is the way to live.
Oh yeah, fear.
Fortunate,
Like
like,
there's always success on the other side of fear.
well, it's. I think we have this ideal in America, and I think it kind of came out of something really odd when you truly think about it, because America was built on hard work. You know what I mean? It was built on
And now
the
we're lazy.
well, yeah, and it's like we look at it as we're supposed to be comfortable. I think it's because we have all these
Instant gratif.
creature.
Well, this social media, the instant gratification, the 2-second videos, like people don't take time to pay attention. They're just next, next, next. Like literally, you have a second to get somebody's attention
Yeah,
when you're talking about like electronic marketing.
yeah, and so like it's there's just so much. I kind of lost my train of thought.
Squirrel. We interrupted each
Yeah,
other.
no, it's all good. Yeah, I completely lost my train of thought there. That was a rough one.
We were just talking about like people getting comfortable and not working
Oh
hard.
no!
Like we were built on hard work.
Uncomfortability. Yeah. So with people going out of the comfort zone, you grow, and so that's what, like, you doing the seminar would allow people that maybe necessarily wouldn't go to that type of seminar, like that are tattoo artists, because a lot of people, I mean, when I find a way to do something, I get stuck in that way, and until I see someone either tell me about it that I trust, that's credible, or that does it in front of me, I'll be like, oh, that's a cool way to do that.
Yeah, well, once you stop apprenticing, like you should still be open to learn. You find your niche. You find like maybe somebody likes to do more ornamental, the mandalas, or somebody likes to do
Yeah.
more traditional flash art, or then you have the black and gray and the realism artists.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different techniques to shading and
See, I never even
brightening.
thought about that type of
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah, and
like the traditional ones are the nice thick black lines, like the Sailor Jerry type of stuff, and
yeah.
then you get the people that do portraits, and you're like, wow, that looks just like the photograph, but they're doing it. The medium that they're using is needles, ink, and skin.
Yeah. Which you don't get a second shot at
No,
that. So you got to be good, and that's why I've always had a respect for tattoo artists. Obviously, you got the butchers of the world, but
they call them scratchers. I found.
oh,
Yeah.
scratchers. Oh, the other
The
thing too,
closet scratchers.
closet scratchers.
Yeah,
That
'cause they're
sounds a whole lot worse than a bad tattoo artist. That's all I gotta say.
That's just-
I would never want to be called a tattoo
I've
scratcher
learned
or a closet scratcher.
I've learned a lot of I've just I'm absorbing and learning and watching and reading and
And
just trying to immerse myself so that I am credible and I am respected as not even being a tattooer, just being a host. I want to be a good host.
yeah, and that says a lot, because I think there's a good amount of people who would, on the opposite dime of that, just be doing this for money, and like you're doing it to make it a better experience, not only for the people but for the tattoo artists as well.
Well, and yeah, I want something. If people don't enjoy themselves, they're not going to come back.
Yeah,
And
and you can tell you care. You
I
can tell you care
do.
so much, and it's good. No, it's a great thing, and like it shows through your dedication and through how much you've put into it as well. You know what I mean? Because I don't think the average person would ever think that you'd be able to pull this off in such a short amount of time. And like, I'm still shocked that you start doing it in March. Like when I heard you first talking about it when we were playing volleyball, I thought like you'd been planning this for like a year already. And like, I was like, okay, well, that's awesome that she does this. But yeah, and so knowing that you pulled it together that quick, I think that says a lot. And I think anyone you told that to would truly understand how much you
Just
care.
being persistent and, just action, action, action. And my husband has been very supportive. I mean, he has stayed home with the kids and the dogs and let me go on all these tattoo conventions. I mean, we've been to tattoo conventions together. My 12-year-old, she loved it when we went to Chicago. She got all the temporary tattoos. She had the sleeves on her arms, and she's going to be doing face painting at the event. She's really artistic herself. So, you know, it's a good time for everybody.
Yeah. It sounds like it's gonna be fun. Um, oh wow, we hit some time there.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, 2 hours.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah, no, that's good. Um, we can go ahead and wrap it up. I know. I have the wedding going on later, so I
Oh,
want to.
for sure. Yeah, no, I appreciate your time today.
No, it was great. Honestly, like I said, you've taught me way more than just about your tattoo convention too. It's always nice to speak to people who do different things because there's so much to learn from them, and I think even when we know what they know, it's nice to be reminded because there's a lot of things you said that I've faded away from over time, and like I held those things dear at a point, and like, and it's just not that like I want them to fade away. It's just that with
Life happens.
well, also too ADH brain.
Yeah. Squirrels.
ADHD,
I
yeah.
call them my squirrels.
Oh
The
yeah.
squirrels are my
Shiny
friends.
thing.
Yeah.
Where'd it go? Yeah, 100% squirrel moments.
Squirrel nest.
Yeah, yep. It's just the way our brains function, but I think it's the product of creativity. And I'm glad you found a way to get it outlined. What's the Instagram so we can get that out there?
It's Inked Expression Arts. INKD. I think it's dot. Hold on.
Okay.
My brain is scrolling right now.
No, it's okay. After this long of speaking, it's kind of
Inked INKD dot expression dot arts.
okay. And that's your Instagram handle.
Yeah, I have the link tree on there. All the Eventbrite is on there. And look at my professional dashboard. 24,000 views in the last 30 days. I think I only sponsored an ad. I don't even know if I sponsored an ad in the last 30 days, but that's just engagement from me. Active, attractive, sharing, and
I think your organic growth is going to take you a whole lot further than anything that was generated through automation. So
yeah.
I think you went about it the right way completely, and that's kind of why I don't do too much posting about my podcast on social media. I do some of it because, like, just because
You'll get your tribe. You'll get
Yeah.
your people that follow you and
Yeah.
that love the content you put out, and you know,
I really don't even do it for that. I do it more for what it gives me. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie; it's a selfish reason. I
That's
enjoy
okay.
talking to people. I enjoy learning other things. I
Hey,
enjoy
I'm
their perspectives.
selfishly bringing a tattoo convention because I wanted to see it in my area. Nobody's done it.
Yeah,
So
and
our selfish reasons can be good as long as we're open to sharing. And
yeah. Alrighty. Well, thank you, folks, for joining us for another episode of The Sound of Sosa. I
Thank
have
you.
Jolane here. Be sure you check her out at inked.expression.art on Instagram, right?
INKD
INKD.expression.arts.
dot arts.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that's Instagram.
I'm also on Facebook and TikTok. I'm just not as active on TikTok.
Okay.
It's just there. Oh, and I have a YouTube channel, Midwest Inked Arts.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, check those out. Make sure to follow her, subscribe. And then if you have time and you want to come get a tattoo or just check out what's going on, they at the Northfield Square Mall in Bradley on October 5th and 6th, and it starts at 10 a.m.
Yep. 10 to 10 Saturday, 10 to 7 Sunday. Contests start around 8 o'clock at night on Saturday and 5 o'clock on Sunday. So
Awesome.
come see, them doing their best work.
All right. I'm excited for it. I know that. So
All right. I look forward to seeing you there. Maybe you will get that tattoo.
maybe we'll see if I can convince some people.
All right.
All right. Take care, folks.
Bye.